handsome and pretty little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobras nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra and I make minimalism videos. So today's video is going to be how to have growth in 2023. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. Let's get it, let's go. Woo. So I've been seeing these all over TikTok, and I think that it is amazing because it's in the similar vein as the law of manifestation and building your best life. And I feel like I'm in like a really good place recently, and I want to share that with you guys. So I'm going to be talking about 8 things that have really helped my own personal growth in these past couple years, and I figured that that might help somebody else out who's just feeling stuck in a rut or just like, what am I doing with my life? Okay, so number 1, the lucky girl syndrome. I think that this trend is really interesting because it's this idea that like things just work out for you and it's effortless, and you just feel like, wow, she's so lucky, she's at the right place at the right time. And I do think that that is in a similar vein to the law of manifestation, this idea that anything that you want can come true, and I'm totally for that. I think that for the longest time I have been up in my own head thinking about, you know, all of my life woes, and I was really frustrated during the pandemic, especially because I didn't end up, you know, I left China and I left all of my possessions behind. I literally had a carry-on worth of stuff, and that was it. My life just completely changed overnight, and it wasn't, maybe not necessarily for the best. I was unemployed for an entire year because I used to work in China and I didn't have a job in Taiwan, and for the longest time I've just been so bitter and angry. But I think that in 2023 I decided to leave that behind, leave that baggage behind, literally and figuratively, and just kind of live in this lucky girl syndrome that everything is working out for me. I am like living my best life, and it has really paid off. If you guys have seen, I've been receiving a lot more PR packages. My YouTube channel has definitely been increasing with subscribers. My own personal business, tutoring business, has definitely been flourishing, and I feel so lucky and so blessed. And if you ask me what was the change, I think I just decided to stop wallowing in my own self-pity. Okay, number 2, if you fail, you won't die. I think that for me, I've been really afraid to start a lot of things, and I specifically refer to the jewelry business. I was like, how am I going to start a jewelry business? What if it fails? Like, what if this is just as terrible as mistake as my crypto situation? What if I just lose money again? Like, how am I going to show my face on the internet? But something that has really helped me a lot, and this is actually from Layla Hermosi, and she said that if you fail, you won't die. And that is actually the root cause of a lot of our fears. It's not the fear itself, but more the human coping mechanism of this fear of like worst case scenario, and then your brain takes you to worst case scenario, which is death. Like, my business doesn't do well, I'll start bleeding money. If I don't have money, then I can't eat, and if I can't eat, then I'll die. So that is at the root cause of a lot of our fears. So once I understood that, I had to ask myself, what were the worst case scenarios? I'm in a place where I can staunch the bleeding. I will always be able to eat. So that kind of helped calm my fears and kind of gave me that strength to move forward with my jewelry business. And I'm really glad that I've kind of learned that even if I fail at stuff, it won't mean that I'm going to die. Okay, and number 3, what you seek is on the other side of fear. A lot of things that I had been really afraid to do was just because I was like, it's not being a good minimalist, it's not in line with minimalism, I don't want to do it, and so I'm not going to. But I was talking with my mom, and then through talking with her and then kind of looking back on my Zen notes, something that really struck me, which is really interesting because my mom knows that I'm a Buddhist, and she told me a really interesting Buddhistic quote, and I'll share it with you guys, and that is, what you seek is on the other side of fear. So what you are fearful of, what you're looking for, is actually on the other side of that, and that has really helped me a lot. This was in the context of me leaving my mom's place almost about 2 years ago. Wow, I can't believe it's been 2 years, but I was really afraid to leave my mom's because I was like, what if things just don't pan out for me? What if I have to like crawl back home with my tail between my legs? And my mom told me, she's like, you know what you seek is on the other side of fear. So I was like, me being afraid to leave home, I can't let that hold me back. So I took the leap and I moved in with Will, who is now my fiance, and I'm really happy that I took that leap of faith. And I think that constantly being afraid to make that next step forward was just keeping me stuck and unhappy. And so I'm so glad that I decided to see through my fear and pass through it and come out the other side. It was actually definitely worth it. Number 4, stop feeding your pain. So I think that for anybody who's been following my channel for a long period of time, you guys know that I am no stranger to feeding my pain. I'm constantly complaining about everything that has gone wrong in my life, things I'm unhappy about, things that are not good enough. And I think that for 2023, I think finally I just stopped feeding my pain. I stopped complaining about things I was unhappy about. I still have things that I'm unhappy about, but I just felt like getting up on camera and complaining is just not the way to go about doing things, because honestly I've realized in my older age, in my wisdom, we all have struggles, and we don't come to YouTube to hear somebody else complain about their life. So that's just not something that I put out anymore. I don't put out that kind of energy. I decided to just stop feeding my pain. So now my channel is a lot more positive. When you come here, I talk about the things that make me happy, the things that I'm grateful for, my life accomplishments. It's not here like me trying to brag and my YouTube channel is a highlight reel. It's not. It's more just to like motivate you and inspire you, and pretty much for me to just shut my mouth and stop feeding my pain, because I'll be honest, it was leading to depression and I was drowning myself and bringing everybody else with me. So it was like, let's just not do that. It's not healthy, conducive attitude. Number 5, I stopped with the victim mentality. I have been no stranger to just playing the victim mentality for the longest time. I think since like I decided to pursue med school, I've just been woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. Felt sorry for myself that I had an eating disorder, felt sorry for myself that I had almost nearly 100K student loans, just constantly feeling sorry for myself. And it's just like, I just didn't want to keep playing fucking victim mentality anymore. So now in 2023, I am not in this victim mindset anymore. I'm very happy with where I am. Why is my nose so red? It's actually because of the glasses. Maybe I should put my glasses back on. Does that look better? These are my blue light glasses. But yeah, I definitely stopped with the victim mentality. I stopped telling myself that woe is me. It's like, you know what? People have been through many life and difficult experiences. You acting like a victim is just further drowning myself, really. Like, it wasn't getting me ahead in life. And so I forgive myself for everything that I have gone through, and I have started fresh in 2023, and I have embraced abundance, and I have embraced that right now I'm in a good place, and that is enough. I don't need to keep nursing my wounds from the past. I can finally let them go. Number 6 is take full responsibility. I have always found, maybe not people to blame, but I've definitely found circumstances to blame for my life circumstances. I don't even know. I was just so filled with so many excuses. If I didn't get good enough marks at U of T, it was because the system is too hard, the school is too hard, I didn't have tutoring, or if just like the narrative stories that I kept telling myself, but like did it help me? Not really. So what I do now is I take full responsibility for my life. If things are the way they are, it's just a lot easier to just blame myself than it is to keep blaming circumstances, because I forfeit my life control. I'm saying that my life circumstances are outside of my control, and it just left me so helpless and powerless. Now I tell myself everything in my life is my fault, everything in my life is my responsibility, and I feel really empowered. I feel like I finally get stuff done because of like, if it isn't anybody else's responsibility but mine, I'm like, I'm gonna get shit done, and it has helped tremendously. Number 7, and this is quite similar to the previous point, but let go of your past. I could sit here and just cry and cry about my past, and it's just like, it's not helping me. It's not gonna help me. I have to let that go, and I need to move on. And for me, that has been a lot of things that, since I came back from China to Canada, my life just was so different and totally not what I expected. I had this fantasy in my head that I was just gonna be living my best life once I came back to Canada. And I came back to Canada during the pandemic, and it was among one of the most difficult struggles. But that was 3 years ago. That was back in 2020, and I'm still carrying that with me, that in 2023, I was like, I'm so sick and tired of holding on to these narratives. And I was just like, I have so many things to be grateful for, so I don't have to keep living in the past. I would like to enjoy my present. And number 8 is look to the future with hope and not fear. I think for the majority of my life, except for like literally this year, I have done nothing but look to the future with fear. Everything that I have done has been a coping mechanism to prevent a shitty future. I would like save money because I didn't want to be broke in the future. You know, I would not do or try new things because I'd be like, that's just gonna, you know, cause detriment. So I'm not gonna do this and I'm not gonna do that. And I mean, like, while yes, maybe that is helpful to a certain degree, the perspective that I had was just, I operated from a place of fear. I was just so fearful. Like I operated from a doomsday prevention mentality. Like, I don't want this to happen, so I'm not gonna do this, or I'm gonna do this to prevent that. I don't operate like that anymore. I operate from a place of hope. Like, I wouldn't buy something that I really liked because it meant that if I spent that money, then I might risk, you know, financial ruin. And I'm talking like a $10, $5 purchase. Like, my scarcity mindset was really deeply ingrained because of the massive student loans that I had. Now I look to the future with happiness. You know, if I would like to buy something, I buy something. I'm not going to starve because I bought myself a new shirt. And that has been really healing for me because I feel like I came from the opposite paradigm. I know that a lot of people are very loose with their spending. I had the opposite problem. I could not let go of $1. I would hold everything so tightly because if I just didn't spend $1, then I would be better cushioned for life's emergencies and life's failures. Like, nothing's gonna save you like money in the bank. But I mean, I got to the point where I just was not living a life where I was happy. So I think what I do now is like, I operate from a perspective of like, yes, I should be responsible responsible, but at the same time, the perspective that I have when I look towards the future is one of hope. You know, I think my YouTube channel will grow, and I'm going to, you know, accumulate more happy life memories, and I'm going to have an abundance in my life, material abundance, spiritual abundance, and I'm going to have a good relationship with the people that are in my life, and we're going to be happy, and you know, just, I don't know, find that happiness on the inside and really cement that, and just quit the whole scarcity mindset, because I felt like it was just wasn't conducive to a good life. So I hope that these 8 tips could have helped you out in terms of like your own growth journey. I think that would be fantastic, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.